Farmers in Bethel have everything they need to be successful. They have fertile land, abundant water, experience and know-how, and a great support system. But the land in Bethel, like elsewhere, is in danger of being taken for homes and commercial business. Just as it is ideal for farming, it is ideal for development. But more development is not what is needed. By 2050, the world will need to produce twice the amount of food that is produced now. That cannot be done by taking farmland for non-farm use.
About 10 years ago, we started, the county commissioners wanted to run water and sewer up the river. But several in our community got together and we fought off that attempt because we felt like it would hurt the rural community, thus hurting farming. If the high-density housing development come, commercialism come, it takes farmland away. So that was one way we felt like we could help preserve farmland and help the community stay rural and help the rural lifestyle that we have here in the Bethel community now.
Bethel Rural Community Organization is very active in educating landowners about the need to preserve farmland, explaining options for conservation, and helping process applications for conservation easements.
This area is a watershed. Public water supply for Canton is immediately below this area. What does that mean? It means that we have to take care of our soils. We have to take care of our water because they need that below us. But the value of these soils is that they have that ability to store for that public supply. They have the value to be able to filter that, and it has the value to continuously produce water for those other uses, as well as for agriculture. One of the things that I'm really proud of with this Bethel community is that their response. They are trying to protect farmland in every way possible. This is one of the most concentrated areas for conservation easements for farmland protection in the state. They take this seriously. They put their own dollars into it. Farmers are absolutely interested in this program. Conservation easements, farmland protection with this type of soil gives great hope to the future generations, our great-grandchildren and others, to be able to have fruitful vegetables, as well as milk supply and all the other things that we take for granted many times in this country.
Bethel's farmlands are certainly worthy of protection and conservation efforts. Bethel was originally settled as a farming community and still is one today. It should remain a farming community for many, many years to come. Bethel's beauty and fertility is immensely appreciated by those who live there, but especially by those who are out there working in the soil day after day.
I feel very fortunate being put on this spot because it is a very fertile ground, a very scenic view from all directions. I got the Pigeon River running right there in front of it, and I guess, you know, me and my boys that we grew up with, we all grew up here in this neighborhood, and we played in the river and worked in the fields, and we kind of took it for granted. We didn't really realize that we was in such a beautiful spot, but as I get older, I come to appreciate it more.
And you can ask for a better place to live and farm.
2011, I retired from the paper mill, formerly known as Champion. I've been farming ever since. I hope I get a whole lot more years in. Keeps me feeling good, working all the time.
You know, when you think about a lot of jobs, office jobs are usually 9 to 5, 5 days a week, but farming is sun up till sundown, 7 days a week. It's one of the highlights of my life to be able to farm full-time and make your living off your own wits and being a full-time farmer. When I decided to retire and give it up, I decided to at least keep my farmland into farming. So I now lease to Hank and Ferguson Ross, and they grow silage corn on the farm now, and I have for 3 years now, and do a good job and take care of the land
they appreciate these bottoms that in the Bethel community that has some of the best farmland in the country. It's just a good fertile soil and prime farmland.
The fertile soil in the Bethel community is one of the best, and it has always grew a good corn crop and provided us with a lot of silage to bring into the farm here on Jonathan Creek to feed our cattle. And we are very, very fortunate that we were able to purchase this property in 1983.
Drive through Bethel and there's probably some of the prettiest farms of Roman Devon cows that I think I've ever seen anywhere. And then you get a little further down and those tomato fields when they're just hanging full of bright red tomatoes. It's really a very touching sight, and it's a blessing to live in Haywood County where we have the opportunity to be able to farm the land like we do. And I don't think there's any area in the county that I'm more impressed with God's handiwork than Bethel whenever I drive through it, because it just blesses my heart to see this is where our food comes from, and these are the families that are working so hard to feed us.
Bethel is a very productive area agriculturally, has very unique river bottom soils and an outstanding climate for agricultural production. And when that's coupled with the top-notch farmers and growers that we have in the Bethel community, it's a powerful thing. So when you couple the climate and good people together, you come up with something pretty unique that we have here in the Bethel community.